getting sick of you, brother. I'm seriously getting sick of you.
You've been at it
It's
again,
not my
haven't you?
fault, though. What have I done wrong?
Yeah, well, you're not down the fields, are you?
No, I'm not.
Every time you're down the fields. No, you're not.
It's hard work, brother.
You're off seeing her again, aren't you?
It's hard work in the fields, and
You're
yet
off
she
seeing her
is so
again.
easy. Yes, I am, brother.
She's a Philistine!
I don't care. She's gorgeous.
Lord, how many times must I forgive my brother when he sins against me? More than 7?
Oh, no, not 7 times. 70 times 7. See? You must forgive your brother with all of your heart. Have no other feelings than love towards him. Look, his is a hard life. It's empty. It's without God. You show him love. Show him love that he may become one of my disciples.
Don't come any closer, healer. I'll lose your teeth. You'll lose your teeth.
I have a story for you. Do you want to hear a story? Yeah! Come on. You shall have one. There was a man, and this man had 2 sons and an estate. And one day, the youngest son came to his father and he said, "Father, you give me my share of the estate so that I can live my life the way that I wish to live it." So the father divided his estate. And the young man went off to a distant land, and there he lived a life of pleasure. He soon squandered all of that money. And then a famine came upon the land, and the only work that this young man could find was to feed another man's pigs. Now he grew so hungry, he longed to eat the husks that he was feeding to the animals, but nobody gave him anything. And this brought him to his senses. He remembered, on his father's land, even the hired men had food enough to spare. So he decided to return home to ask his father to hire him. Now, while he was still a long way off, his father saw him, and he ran to him and embraced him. But the young man said, "No, Father, I've sinned against heaven. I've sinned against you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Please, just hire me as one of your workers." But the father said to his servant, "Quick, bring me my finest robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger. Put sandals on his feet. And bring forth the fatted calf. Let's feast. Let's celebrate. My son was dead, and he's alive again. He was lost, and he's been found." Now the elder brother was out in the fields working. Oh, he heard about the celebrations, but he wouldn't go inside. So the father went out to him, pleading with him to come and join them. But he would not. He said, "Look, all these years I've worked for you, never disobeying any of your orders, and you've never even given me a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. And now this son of yours returns home having wasted all your money on women and wild living. What do? You kill the fatted calf and you throw a party for him?" "My son," the father said, "you're always with me. All that I have is yours. But this, your brother, was dead, and he's alive again. He was lost, and he's been found." Come here, you two. Come on. Now, do you see how in his loneliness, the father went out to both his sons. He gave them all that he had, and he rejoiced when the lost one was found. He gave them unconditional love and forgiveness. See, this is how our Father in heaven wants us to treat him. He wants us to turn. He wants us to receive. Now, this is a real life parable. We're all in it. Learn it and understand it well.
I loved performing in this scene because although it begins with an aggressive dialogue between 2 brothers arguing over the suitability of one of their girlfriends, it develops into a story about love and forgiveness. Arguments among family and friends are common, real and tense. And in this scene, we, the cast, are in the moment, waiting for Jesus' reply to the question, how often should I forgive my brother? Well, we look to him for his response to the club-wielding brothers. What can he say? How often should you forgive someone when they have hurt you? Well, Jesus answers with a clear and powerful parable of a son who has left home, wasted his inheritance on having a good time, and is now destitute and desperate. As the son returns home, he is spotted by his father, who is watching and waiting for his son, with forgiving and unconditional love that just wants to move out from the past and live well into the future. In the end, the cast are left to consider the beauty of this developing friendship between these brothers. This is a real life parable to me because Jesus uses a line in this scene that life without God is hard. Forgive with all your heart. Sometimes it seems easier to harbour resentment for me than it is to forgive. However, I believe forgiveness is like a healing balm, just as Jesus says. Apparently, people who forgive produce more dopamine, the chemical that, when released in the brain, makes me feel calmer and happier. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, to quote the psalmist. So how often should we forgive our brother? For our health, as often as we can, and with the love of God, that is possible. And I know that my forgiving Father is looking out for me all the time, wherever I am and whatever I'm doing, even if I forget he's there.